Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. This is just a chat really and a look round at obviously when Hannah comes down we usually get some work done, and the first work was cleaning up the conservatory. So all the plastic and everything's been wiped off. The glass panels that were bad have been cleaned, inside only, not outside. The floor's all been mop clean and everything. So I haven't put everything back yet. And basically I started on the conservatory. I got halfway round, or just over halfway round, and my back started playing up quite bad. And my energy levels, because of these flipping tablets I take, started to get a bit short. But in the meantime, Hannah was out in the garden. She's done quite a lot out here. It's difficult to see it because I didn't film it before, did I? Like an idiot. But she's taken all the edges back and everything, and basically swept up the patio. What's the leaves and everything have just that's come down overnight. But you can see how much work she's done by how many bags she's actually got ready to go to the tip. And we had a massive seeding. The forget-me-nots, that's two of the big clumps. There were three, but Hannah took one up to her place to put in a pot. And all the others are seedlings. And those seedlings have got out of hand. They'd got over here, they'd got in here, and they'd got in here. And they looked like weeds. And, you know, the ground cover that I planted is specific. That's the ground cover I want in that place. And I don't really want forget-me-nots in there as well. So she's pulled a load of those out. She doesn't do weeding that much out here because she doesn't necessarily know what's a weed and what's not. So, like, you know, the weeds under there sort of thing, she hasn't done that. Like I said, she leaves some stuff because she doesn't know. But she's taken back the ivy there, so we can see the primroses now, and done a bit of weeding here, because I said if it's not a primrose and it's not thyme, in this bit it's a weed, and in that bit it's a weed. And yeah, she trimmed everything back on the edges and everything so we can get down the path now. Had a bit of a sweep up, so yeah, work was done out here. There's a lot more to do, so next time she comes down, hopefully a lot more of the leaves will be off that annoying tree, and we'll have another go in the garden. That's going to be towards the end of November probably when she comes down next. We shall see. So some stuff in the garden was done, and as I said, we got the inside of the conservatory. Oh, I must get the mat back down as well. But yeah, it was getting the conservatory sort of cleaned up. I might get a house inspection. Right, the gates saga. The gates not working. The man came this morning. He got the gates working relatively quickly, and it was basically there is a control box, and in there is the receiver for the little fobs that we use to open and close the gates. And basically where the power was off for a length of time, because next door didn't know what that switch did, so they just turned it off because it didn't seem to be doing anything. They didn't realise they'd shut the gates down. Because the sensor was off for an amount of time with no power, it lost its synchronisation with the fobs. So there wasn't anything physically wrong with the gates. So he's given them a bit of a service, put some grease on, and you know, they've speeded up a bit now, and they close properly because they were leaving a little bit of a gap. So he's basically got the gates working nicely now. The intercom is a write-off. He said this system's over 10 years old. If you've got 10 years out of it, you've been lucky. So he said it'll need replacing. So I've contacted the agent, and you know, to give the landlord a warning shot that there's a bill coming up. To actually replace the system as it is, we're looking at 1,200 quid plus VAT, because all his quotes are ex-VAT, because he mainly deals with businesses, and the businesses claim the VAT back. You just keep passing it round in circles till it disappears up some poor customers, whatnot. But yeah, so it's going to be so that's plus 20%. So 20% of 1,200 quid on top. That's a very big bill. and I've chatted with Nextdoor, and we've agreed we don't need the video link, and by removing the video element you are effectively reducing the price by half. So that's going to bring the price down to more like sort of 600-700 quid, something like that. And that's for new panels in the houses and a new unit on the gate for people to contact the two houses. Now that's a shared cost effectively. So although that might be sort of £600-700, and that's to have it all fitted and everything as well, that's included in his estimate, I'm only going to be paying half of that, and I will get it back from the landlord. So I'm not paying for it, but it's in hand, it's being dealt with. That's the most important thing for me, is that it's being dealt with. So I brought my car back in this morning because I can now open the gates with my little gadget rather than having to get out and switch to manual and everything. So that's all I'm going to do today. I'm having a very lazy day because my back hurts quite a bit from the work that we did yesterday. There's a lot of bending and stretching, and I overdone it again like I usually do. Even though I did stop and sort of say to Hannah, I've had enough now, I can't do much more. And she said, well, leave the rest then and I'll do that. And I just as we moved the staging out the way to get the panels and everything, I was sorting the floor out, so that I can do that. It's a long handled mop, so I don't have to bend over to do that, so I could manage to do the mopping and do the floor and the cooking, of course, and getting the meals ready. That's a bit my bit. So that's that then, and tomorrow I will put together for you the video clips of the nursery visit to Double H, and get that video sorted out. I might well put the video together itself this afternoon, but I'm posting it tomorrow. This really is my day off, so this is just a quick update on what's going on. So the car is not trapped inside or outside anymore. It can come and go as it pleases. I'm going to go off out in a minute and go up to the surgery and try and find out what's going on with my tablets and things like that, because I went to renew my prescription and one of my tablets has been taken off of my prescription, so I can't get it anymore, and I'd like to know why. And am I supposed to carry on taking the ones I've got, or should I stop? And if I should stop taking them, wouldn't it have been nice for somebody to tell me? So I'm going to go in and bang on the counter, basically. Not literally, but you can deal with things over the counter much easier than you can faffing about with telephones and stuff. So I got to go and do that today as well. And while we were moving the staging, there was one plant that was highly likely to fall off of the top here, where this gap is, and it was this one. So I thought we'll get that out and we'll leave it out so that we can have a look at it. And this is Coleogene, I think it's the Moriana, let's get the tag out, yeah, it's the Moriana magnifica. It's a nicer version of the species basically, and these are pretty stunning blooms. It's not fully open yet, but it looks like that bud's blasted, so we've got 4, which isn't bad. These are a bit finicky, these are. They shrivel at the slightest shortage of hydration, but they're one of the types that pushes up a new growth, blooms out of the centre of the new growth, and then the blooms die back and the growth carries on and opens up its leaves, like this one has here. This one didn't bloom, but they're finicky. This particular variety is the bulbs can shrivel very, very easily. It's got to be kept hydrated all the time. But yeah, gorgeous blooms. They'll be fully open soon. And this type of, like many other types of Coleogenes, they have a spike and the blooms open simultaneously. So within a day or two, the whole spike's open. Yeah? As opposed to, like, if you think the Oncidium type, something like this one over here, you're going to get the biggest buds at the bottom and the smallest buds at the top, and they open successively up the spike. So, you know, you end up with perhaps the bloom that first opened at the base of the spike is like 10 days older than the ones at the top of the spike, or even longer in some cases. So they work differently, but quite a few of the cotyledons open all their blooms virtually at the same time. But gorgeous colour on the inside. Very nice and very large. These are large blooms. Well, they will be when they're fully open anyway. But purest of whites, and then that lovely deep gold with the hairy bits. So there we go, that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow in the video for the Double H nursery. It should be pretty good. So see you then, bye for now.